G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's video. It is of course the 2nd of January of 2026. And of course, yes, we've got some snow, which has strangely enough arrived because obviously our winters are usually quite mild. And I never thought of actually coming across snow around, well, let's just say the 2nd of January. Very interesting. I would have never ever thought it would pretty much happen. It's freezing cold. But, yes, we have now got the first proper taste of winter. We've actually haven't had any snow for basically over at least 32 days. Because obviously, well, the majority of how much cold weather we're getting, it's very minimalistic. I'd probably say very small amounts because, hey, you know, our winters are fairly stereotypically mild now these days because of climate change and global warming, but it's nice to see a little bit of winteriness right over it. You know, the rest of January so far, I think it's going to be a very cold one because obviously, if you ever think about going past by the solstice and not the equinox, it just sort of proves to you that once you go past by the equinox and the solstice at the same time, it gets even more colder. Hence the fact we are getting much longer days, you know, just before springtime hits. And it's only going to be relatively short, so don't you worry about that. Yeah, as you can see, I'm actually walking around snow for the first time, I suppose. So it actually is freezing cold. You know, on a snowy day, I'd often refrain from going outside. It's only probably about small amounts of it. It's only just light snow, and thank goodness for that. And as you can see, it almost looks very interesting. You can see there's a bit of ice particles right here. Look at that. The ice has gotten to it. It has basically killed a lot of leaves and stuff. Look at that. It's basically formed some icicles here. It's basically destroyed this plant. Once it goes hard and solid, bam. Once it attaches onto a certain plant or a certain leaf, it just dies. Strangely enough, that's not a very good sight to see. But nevertheless, hey, that is pretty much my first taste of winter. And although it has been snowing, thank goodness, unlike 2025, I think 2024 had no snow so far. I think during January and February, there wasn't any signs of snow. But I think November of that year, that being 2024, I think there was some proper snow. But yet again, the lack of snow so far this year has made it fairly almost impossible. Strange, isn't it? Because if you ever think about the beast from the east and other previous cold snaps that we had so far, it's very peculiar. It's a very strange weather phenomenon, and obviously we humans should know better about this because, hey, for those who love snow, it's going to be a dying feature in the future because, hey, you know what? We will still be getting snow, but I don't think we're going to get as much bigger amounts as what we had, you know, over the previous years or so. You know, 1963 was a very cold winter. 1981, 1982. You know, I certainly thought of that, but hey, I'm not really born at that time. You know, I'd probably presume 2009, 2010. That was another cold winter. 2011, 2018. That was, of course, the famous beast from the east. Crikeys, I can't believe how cold it is outside. And seeing all the snow that you're just seeing here is just peculiar. And I'm actually hearing sounds of birds here. And you might be thinking, hey, we're getting 4 seasons in one day. Hey, it's freezing cold. Yes, it feels like winter on one side, and then the other side it feels more like autumn. Kind of funny, isn't it? But apart from that, I'm actually hearing lots of bird singings. Also, it's bird songs. I can't even say correctly, can I? There's a lot of bird noises outside because obviously spring is going to be on its way sooner than or later because of climate change and global warming. But yeah, it is very strange indeed. That's so amazing to see why everything seems to have physically changed. Winter is, of course, not really the best season for me because obviously everything is all so quiet, so desolate. and it's just not that great to go outside, you know. And even more worse, look at the soil. It has just gone really icy and really hard. And if I spill all of this completely at the frozen up soil, look at that. It's gone all hard. You know, it's very straightforward, freezing cold to touch. You know, with all the dead nasturtiums around here, that is just completely and utterly shocking to see. It's very unusual. And to get a few snowy days like that, I think 1 in 10 years, I mean 1 in 100 years, I think 1 in 10 years is going to be quite crazy. I don't know if the ratios might change because of how we seem to do things differently. I can see some primroses blossoming outside. It isn't that unusual to see flowers blossoming in the middle of wintertime. And of course, yes, there's some of my other tubs here. And look at that. And even this one here, look at that, look at the ice here. They have, yeah, it's quite amazing that the snow has landed, but only for a very short period of time. Quite interesting to see this level of snow. But I'm pretty sure, hey, if you live in, well, let's just say someone like freaking, yeah, I can't believe how cold it is outside. I mean, there's a little hedge sparrow. I think that's a dunnock. That's on the little garden stairs and whatnot. Yeah, it's absolutely freezing cold. But the thing is, like, of course, as I said before, I can't straightforward stand being too cold for a long period of time. I think that's one of the bigger problems about heading outside. It's that it's not that great. Anyways, so yes, with all the dead nasturtiums here, yeah, look at that. It's all been completely rotten by this case. Yeah, I think you can hear. I think all I can just hear is just melting ice and snow. Obviously, hey. But we are still hanging on into this really unusual bubble of cold weather. It makes it so hard for the birds to find food. But hey, you know what? I think I might be able to straightforward, hey, get the birds talking to get as much food as they can. This is actually quite stunning to know. I mean, it's freezing cold outside, but the birds haven't really touched in a bit of the food from that feeder. I don't know why. I think I might have placed it on. Maybe that feeder is not that great. I might have to probably think about other stuff like that. It's probably the way it's been positioned, which is probably why it's been obstructed. Yes. Yeah, it's actually freezing cold. I'm going to have to shake it down so that the seeds can be obtained by the birds, obviously. It's freezing cold outside, and I have to say, it is very unusual. I think, well, to get snow events like this, I think there's a 1 in 10,000 chances to get a really heavy snow event. This is only just a light one. I think I should probably leave this video here, because I'm actually freezing cold, so I'm just going to straightforward head back because it is cold. So if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a very good like, subscribe for more Flat videos in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.